What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Clear the Ice. Mike Lauro and I are here to bring you this shambles of a game.
Oh, it was bad.
I mean, talk about like really getting us, excited out of the gate, Mike. I just excited out of the gate and just a huge, giant letdown.
Where was the? Did they stay in the locker room for the last two periods?
I don't know, and maybe they should have. Guys, welcome to Clear Ice, the Philadelphia Flyers post-game show here at EOP Sports. I'm Big Al, along with Mike Lauro. 2/3 of PM in the AM. The two better thirds, we'll call it.
Yeah. The other one's covering wrestling right now.
I think actually he's covering the Sixers game right now.
Or Sixers, one or the other.
So at least I think they have a W on their end. But the Flyers, not so much tonight. Started off big, but ultimately fell to the Capitals, who were
5 straight unanswered goals.
5 straight unanswered goals, 5-2 final. Flyers just, I don't even know where to begin with this, but let's hit some of the comments real quick. Hey, love.
Oh, the better half checking in.
Yes. Hey, Al. Oh, wait a minute. Or my love.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
You might be love.
I don't know.
I might be Al.
It's your family checking in. Hiya, Mike. They have a fun show. Guess what? I guess I'm Mom. It's not going to be that fun.
No, not tonight.
It's going to be an angry show tonight because
hopefully Ant checks in.
There was a lot of expectations coming into this one. I mean, let's be honest. Washington's a lesser team right now than the Flyers. Flyers come in third in the standings. This game had a lot of playoff implications, Mike, which could have really kind of kept the Flyers' heads well above water going forward, making it probably a little difficult going forward with the not difficult, but maybe change a little of the trade deadline ideas for the Flyers or make them swing one way or more. I know it shouldn't lie on this game alone, but they got some tough sledding ahead of them coming up. But we'll get into that in a moment. Right now, like I said, Flyers fell 5-2 to Washington and fell hard.
Yeah, like they came out first period. Like I said, what happened to the team that was playing in the first period? They were buzzing around, and you got to kind of give the Caps a little, not a little. You got to give them credit.
Your cap to the Caps.
Yeah, I mean they really didn't. I mean, you give up 2 goals in the first period at home, and a lot of teams will fold under that. Man, you got to give the Caps a lot of credit, man. They stuck around, they fought back, but you could just see the momentum in this game just slipping away from them. Like I don't feel like the Flyers did enough, and to be honest with you, Sam Harrison really didn't give them a stellar performance in net. There was quite a few goals tonight that he could have stopped.
Yeah, but also at the same time, the defense was non-existing in the last two periods for the Flyers. And we're going to get all that today, guys. I want to remind you that this is brought to you by, I want to remind you, if you feel like you got cheated, you got robbed, something criminal happened tonight, because it felt like they stole a game here, you go to cherryinjurylaw.com. You go to David R. Cherry for all your workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, and criminal law needs. 610-565-0300. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com. David Cherry will fight for your rights at these tough moments because we're going to feel like we're going to need them. Philadelphia fans, this was a tough one. The Flyers being a good away team, Mike. Not so much lately and not so much tonight. Like I said, 5-2 loss. Again, like you said, 5 unanswered goals in a row.
It was. And that's uncharacteristic. I think they're going to clean that up. But you also got to take into effect, too, they don't have Travis Konecny in this lineup, which, I mean, as much as his presence on the ice opens things up for other Flyers. You saw Owen Tippett and Bobby Brink both get on the board tonight. It's been kind of a tough sledding for them. I mean, other than the other night when they played Tampa, but I'm going to be real honest about that. Tampa was on the end of a 4-game road trip, with the Flyers being the last game of that road trip. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
listen, everybody has those moments. They have to step up. So I'm not going to take the Tampa game away. It was a good game against a good team. Yeah, maybe they're out here smelling themselves. Maybe after going up two goals in the beginning,
like they stopped.
It's like they were a fight. They were always on the back of their heels of their skates, and they were always playing from behind, even when they were up 2-0. And you could see it towards his face. He has, like I said, his one arm. It looked like he was going to chew that cast off and then beat the hell out of his team because he was mad. Darren Adams is checking in here. Flyers defense needs help. underestimation of the year right there, underestimation of this game right here. So let's talk about these. Let's talk about that first period. That was the best part. That's what I want to talk about. Bobby Brink, since getting pulled up, 2 games, 2 goals. The first goal,
Lights the lamp. It was a beautiful goal too.
yeah, I mean, he was. Listen, it was a gift wrap goal. That was a gift wrap goal. I mean, the assist come from Frost and Tippett in the situation. He's standing right in front of the net. Tipper with the breakaway, pass to Frost off the rebound, just sitting there, and Brink is able to with Charlie Lindgren, the netminder for the Caps, kind of off the other side, was able just to place it right in the net.
Yeah,
really
it was
easily.
a gift. It was a gift. That was really good. I mean, they jumped out quick, but I felt like the Flyers carried the play in that first period. I didn't feel like they were back on their heels. I felt like they got back on their heels from second period on.
Yeah.
I thought the Flyers carried the play in the first period. They were physical. They were fast.
Mm.
It went away. Like, it looked like they just stopped doing what they were doing in the first
The
period.
Caps got them out of sorts and fast. They just looked at a place. They defensive was not aligned. They were they would put they would close down the lanes in front of the net, and then they would allow the Caps to shoot freely from the wings, and that's not going to help. That's going to fall apart, especially when guys like Ovechkin and them can get hot.
Right. And the one thing you didn't want to do, like, for me, I felt like the one defensive breakdown that they did have that was real evident was on that OV goal, because he skated right across. He skated right across from his left wing, came right over to where the right wing was, picked the shot, and buried it home. You got to get to that. And
Darren wants to know, do you think Carter Hart's situation is affecting the team? I think, listen, it could affect the team. I don't think tonight it was affecting the team.
I think it affected the team earlier on. I think they're getting used to playing without him now.
That 5-game skid, that was maybe them getting affected by Carter Hart.
Since the All-Star break, no. You
Listen,
can't blame that.
not having a guy of Carter Hart's caliber could be affecting the team.
Yes.
But, and we're trying to find out if Sam Erson can be that guy at least.
Well, the only good thing is there's no more Cal Peterson.
Oh.
I'm so glad.
Cal Petters.
Cal Pedersen, Peterson,
Pedersen.
whatever his name is. But, hey, we got Felix Sandstrom. He'll probably get the nod tomorrow against the Senators.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. But that was the first score of the game, first goal, one of the 2 goals that the Flyers would score. Bringing us to the Owen Tippett for number 22 on the year for him. Tippett really, when he came here, he came in that Giroux trade. Nobody really knew what we were going to get with Tippett. But been really playing it well. We see some pretty goals, and another one shooting from the wings. It was a quick and easy snap of the wrist, and bing bang boom goal. And here's Owen Tippett on the power play. Might I add, Flyers get that power play goal we're always looking for, and don't seem to carry it around. What do you got on me for that one?
It was a great play by him. He was able to break off, like you said, down that wing, and before you know it, it was by the Washington netminder. I mean, he really blew it by him, and I was sitting right where you were. It was before you got here, and I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, wow, they really jumped out to not. Man, this game's going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think it would. I did not think in a million years it was going to go the opposite way. I didn't really sit there and think like, oh wow, well this is going to be the last goal that we see from the Flyers. So, with that being said, like I said, Tippett to me has been one of their brightest spots this year.
Young bright spot. I mean, we know he's going to be here for a while, and they pretty much told us that they expect Tippett to be part of that future. Like another,
he's a part. He's a core piece.
In that future.
He's definitely a core piece, man. And I don't know. I'm speechless about how this team gave up 5 unanswered goals tonight.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be speechless in a second because we got to talk about each of those 5 unanswered goals right now. But shots on goal in the beginning in the first period favored Flyers once again, 11-5. Of course, 2 of those getting behind, 2 of those hitting the net from Bobby Brink and Tippett. Again, assists come from Frost and Tippett and Zamula and Frost. So Frost had 2 assists on the day. Brink with a goal, Frost with an assist. Tippett with an assist and a score, and Zamula with an assist. And that's all the points for the you'll get from the Flyers for the rest of the game. So buckle up. It's where it gets not so much
Yeah, it
fun.
doesn't. It's nice. It's not nice from here on
The
out.
sledding is bumpy at best. Bringing to the Flyer killer, I think he's like third, third best record all time scores against goals against the Flyers. I think Gretzky and Lemieux were the other two.
No, it's Gretzky and Sidney Crosby.
Crosby, okay.
Yeah.
Gretzky and Crosby are the only two above him right now. Alex Ovechkin.
He always seems to find the back of the net against the
Yeah,
Flyers.
and I think that's kind of where we went with this. So, off the draw, Bobby Brink started the game, but with the goal. But Bobby Brink, I'm a big Bobby Brink fan. Didn't he seemed like he fell asleep or something? He was just off.
Yeah, he was.
This one was a Bobby Brink letdown. He just didn't. He kind of took the play off, if you want to call it that, and thought, well, he's going to be shooting from the wing. But right off the face off.
Yeah, he just snapped it.
Yeah,
I thought Eriksson could have got that one too. Like I'm not really going to blame. I mean, yeah, does Bobby get some of the blame on this one?
Mhm.
I agree with you, but it wasn't like Eriksson was, he wasn't screened. He saw it coming. I just feel like he didn't play his best game tonight, and you would think, after just playing a couple days ago, he'd be ready to go, but he looked a little off tonight.
Yeah, like I said, and the defense fell apart around him, and he looked like he was reaching at times, and that's when he got caught off guard. So, listen, I think at that point, a lot of us fans, analysts, doesn't matter. It's like you said, it's Ovechkin. Ovi's going to get his, especially against the Flyers.
I was waiting to see a response, man,
Yeah.
and that's what killed me about tonight. There was no response.
No response. If you're still waiting for a response, you might just but
you might as well wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, put a pillow down and wake up the next morning. Maybe you get lucky. But Sonny Milano, he would follow it up about 5 minutes, a little more than 5 minutes later.
That was a lucky goal. I don't care where they went. That goal was lucky.
Listen, that was good thinking. It was an awkward thing that 9 times out of 10 this doesn't go in, but it went in this time.
That's when I knew the Flyers were in trouble. I was like, if a goal like that's going to go in against you tonight, it's not going to be your night.
The game will get tied after Milano lifts the puck over the shoulder of Ersson, and like I said, like that, the game's tied. That was kind of a telling moment for this game.
And the Flyers seemed like they went flat right after that, because like leading into the next goal that was scored in this period by Carlson, the defenseman, this dude wrapped it around. He came around the back of the net. He did a wraparound. You know what I mean? And it was like, once I saw that, it was like, and it just seemed like right after the Ovechkin goal, you could see they were starting to flatline a little bit, but it was like Milano scored, they flatlined. That was it. And it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like they were just trying, like the Caps controlled so much of that second period, and they dominated that second period. I mean, if you look at it, it's, I think on the telecast, they said the game shots were 27-21. Our official game stats here are saying 24-21, but it could have easily been like, I just felt like the majority of that period was played in the Flyers' defensive zone.
Yeah, it was, and in the majority of that second period, I mean, it was 9-5 shots on goal favoring Washington in that time.
It was like 13 to something in the first period for the Flyers.
And you probably hope, like, all right, at the very least, we get out of the second period tied up, come back on the third, regroup, and be a little and save a little face in the situation. Well, Johnny Carlson was not having that. He was not going at the end of that second period. Tied game. He wanted to take the lead into the intermission.
Yeah, he scored with the 17:45 mark of the second, man. And so you figure he has what? The end of the second period. And like I said, again, Al, this is what we were talking about, this Flyers defense falling asleep. Cam York took a couple dumb penalties tonight too.
Yeah. And give Caps the offense a little they lulled them into some bad patterns that really got them out. They
did a lot of chasing. Flyers tonight didn't really kind of stay in their zones. They did a lot of chasing tonight, and it was kind of weird. Like, a couple times during the game, you saw defensemen kind of going into one another. Like I said, they just got real out of rhythm real quick, and it was just that was it. And then I just felt like from the second period on, the ice just tilted to the Capital side. Like the Flyers were skating uphill. It didn't matter. Like they would come down, the Caps would come down, spend about a minute, minute and a half, almost 2 minutes in their zone. The Flyers would come down, and the Flyers would get maybe a shot or a dump in, and then right away the Caps were coming right back down. Like to me, there was no offensive flow after the first period.
No. The Caps were in control most of this game, the 2/3 of this game, and you really saw it at this goal with John Carlson. Just really got Urson off balance, and when he just wraps around, it takes the puck, puts it right in, with Urson off balance. And this was another one where Brink, I think, was to blame for the situation. And this is actually where you really saw Torts lace into him and really chew him out going when he went back to the bench, because, like I said, Urson was off to the right, really playing hard to the right, trying to close that lane down. There was, when the puck was coming back around, he was too little, too late to dive over and try to stop it, and that's put that goal in. I mean, it gave the lead to the Caps, and they would never look back, and brought on actually something we're seeing on the TV right now with the with a nasty fight with the Flyer with I think it was Hathaway
and Tom Wilson.
Yeah, so
yeah, that was that probably would have been a good heavyweight banger if they didn't wait. Like they didn't wait for the puck to drop; they just went. So, I would have liked to have seen that. I think that would have been pretty damn good.
Well, Wilson took some pretty hard shots. I mean, he looked like it was bang bang in the face, and then somebody was holding on to Hathaway at that point too. So it was it was not a scrap. It was a mauling. But that would end the period. It'd be 3-2 Washington, and I didn't have it. I felt maybe if they can keep this up, maybe they could score ties or something. We'll find. We'll get into that a little bit, but I'll remind you guys that this portion of the Clear the Ice program here is brought to you by Sherry'sTickets.com. Sometimes you got to get down to these games. They're coming back up here. You want to go tomorrow? I believe it's Marvel Day over at the Wells Fargo with the Flyers and the Wings. I think they're both doing it.
That's right. What's a doubleheader tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Wings and Flyers all doing their Marvel themed day. So that's pretty cool. We're going to bring the kids. Go to Sherry'sTickets.com. No hidden prices or no hidden fees. Great prices. Sports conscious leaders, they got it. You name it. I don't care where you're at in the country. Go to Sherry'sTickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Use that great promo code
EOP10.
That's right. EOP10 will save you 10% on all those great prices at Sherry'sTickets.com. Again, sports conscious leader, you name it. They got it. Great prices, no hidden fees, and then an additional 10% off using that great promo code
EOP10.
EOP10 will save you 10% off at Sherry'sTickets.com. So yeah, it like I said, it just doesn't get much better from here. So I guess you go into the third, hoping, all right, God, could we please, maybe they can tie this up or something, make this a game.
This is where I had a little problem with the officiating.
They were down an official tonight too. For those,
they were down an official. I think an official got sick or something before the game. But this is my issue with them too. They were real quick to blow the whistle on Sean Walker twice, and the one was mediocre at best. But yet, 2 Flyer penalties happened right in front of a referee, and nothing got called. Tyson Foster took a high stick to the face. Nothing was called. I'm trying to remember. Somebody else was cutting through the middle too. Got tripped down. No call. Mm-hmm. Like they got to be a little more consistent. Again, I know they were down, but it's just. And if you look at it in the game, both teams had 3 penalties. So you're talking about 6 penalties the whole game. But it just felt like when it was time for them to blow the whistle, they didn't want to blow it. And I have an issue with that. Like, if you're going to call a game a certain type of way, call the game that way. Don't pick and choose when you want to blow the whistle.
Yeah.
Especially when a guy gets hit in the face right in front of you.
And it seemed like at the end when this game started to get a little like
chippy, they were just trying to get out of there.
Yeah, like, and especially when they were up 4-2, they just like, all right, this game's over. We're just going to let this game roll along.
Yeah, and instead of like, I forget who it was that was cutting across they were coming into the middle, and they literally got taken off their feet. And it was right in front of the referee, and there was no call. So, and then later on, in the third period, like I said, Tyson Foster Forrester gets hit in the face with a high stick. Now, mind you, they just called Sean Walker for the same thing. Literally, probably what, like maybe 6 or 7 minutes before that, they nailed Walker with a high stick. But this happens right in front of the referee, and he doesn't blow the whistle. Come on now, like, and I'm not saying that's why the Flyers lost. All I'm saying is, if you're going to kill the game that way, call the game that way. Don't you sit there and go, oh well, yeah, they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what it felt like. The referees were like, all right, we're just going to let it go. We're trying to get out of here. And I don't think that's right. But
that would bring you to the third period. Flyers are now down 3-2. You're hoping maybe they could tie this game up. Maybe they can come out with a little bit more juice after that second period. No juice for these boys. No juice boxes.
They flatlined
around, and they flatlined coming out. And Anthony Mantha, he would
scored the 6:04 mark in the third, giving them a 4-2.
Yeah.
And again, too, if you take a look at that again, I believe if me and you were looking at this, it looked like Mark Stahl was way out of position. Again,
was it this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it was the last one. You're thinking of the next one. That's the one we were thinking was Stahl was way out of position. This is the one where Strome centers the pass behind the net, tosses out. Manta's sitting there has an easy snap.
He was like having lunch.
Yeah,
like him and Erickson were having a conversation.
Yeah, the defense they had the defense way outside and had a clear lane in the middle, and Manta was cherry picking for the most part in that situation.
And he got it past him. Again, this was another goal. Erickson's facing. There's no screen. Tonight, like I said, he had a bad game tonight. I'll say 3 of these 5 goals that he gave up should have been saves, and especially the next one. The next one, my God, can we just get Mark Stahl off of the ice? Like
injuries are putting him on there right now.
To me, he is. Well, I know he's got to play until Drysdale comes back. It looks like, but this dude, you could tell he's been. Good night, Chuck.
You just smashed the like button. Thanks. Everybody else
Thanks,
out there,
Charles.
please do the same thing. If
Thanks,
you're
Chuck.
watching, no matter social media platform you're watching, if it's Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, please do so. What a pathetic, indeed, really unbelievable, unthinkable performance by the Flyers tonight. Up 2-0, lose 5-2. Yeah, I mean that's pathetic, unbelievable. Unthinkable, all good words to use. You broke out the Webster's Dictionary and sadness for this one there, Chuck. So that brings us to the last goal, just kind of putting the old nail in the coffin.
Dylan Strome.
5-2, Dylan Strome.
This is the one. My man was in front of Erickson so long. That's his new address.
Mm-hmm.
My man, that's how long he was. Mark Stahl could not get back on defense. And this is the one, I got this one confused with the last one. But watching this, you're watching from Nassau, Bahamas.
You're ready.
God bless you,
dude.
You're
sitting there watching in Nassau. I would have turned this off and had another pina colada, my friend.
Oh, man.
Or maybe you're having quite a couple drinks with you. If you can enjoy the Flyers while you're away, good for you, man.
Hey,
good for you,
That
Charles.
is awesome, man. Have a Bloody Mary on
a
us.
good time,
But, just watching this, man, it just really got you angry because you're sitting there watching. Cam York's literally going against 2 guys behind the net. And this dude is, like, taking forever to get back. Like Mark Stahl actually shown that, he's been in the league 17 years. Like, I kept telling Pat, when me and Pat were talking about him, he is this year's version of Justin Braun. Like, the Flyers just have to go out and get this guy that's on their last legs. I don't know why. Every year they got to go out and go get a guy who obviously doesn't have it anymore and shouldn't be playing. And a guy like Mark Stahl, I don't want to hear about experience. You know what I mean? He's slow. He's obviously, boom.
Charles, he's a Flyers and Sixers fan. Good to hear, brother. You probably just missed the post-game show for the Sixers. You got this one, and anybody who's sticking around and wants more entertainment, EOP's always got it.
Oh.
And check it out, because you're a wrestling fan. The Steel Steps are going on right now. So when you're done with us, you can pop on over there.
You can pop right over there.
So check it all out at EOPsports.com, as well as on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter page. It's always live. Always loving it here. Philadelphia sports and more. 4 for 4.
So there is the end of the scoring. Al, if you don't mind, I'll do the out-of-town scoreboard?
Yes, please.
Alrighty, well,
Hold on 1 second there. Before you do that, I want to remind you guys that the Out of Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Dolan's Bar. That's right, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. Quizzo, music, great time, memorabilia, you name it, they got it at Dolan's Bar, dolansbar.com. Follow them at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Tell PJ that EOP sent you.
Alrighty, guys. Well, as we've been talking about, it was those Capitals down in D.C. beating the Flyers 5 unanswered goals, 5-2, in a very, very close competitive game north of the border. The Flyers' opponents for tomorrow, the Ottawa Senators, drop a game tonight to the Arizona Coyotes, 5-3. That's a going. And then right now, the last game on the tilt, it is those Dirty Devils from Jersey out in Anaheim to play the Mighty Ducks. They are scoreless. They just got underway. So
Okay.
that's it, man.
That's
Light schedule tonight.
Light hockey schedule.
Light hockey schedule tomorrow. It's pretty well packed. I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, I want to read some of the games that are on tomorrow that I think should be they're pretty good ones. And for all you
what do the Flyers have for trade pieces? We'll get to that at the end.
Look at that, yeah.
Darren, stay put. We're gonna get to that in a moment.
There's some games for you guys tomorrow. If you hockey fans, if you want to watch late tomorrow night on ESPN Plus, you have the Penguins and the Flames playing at 10:30. Another good one with of course, playoff implications. You also have the Bruins and the Islanders playing in Long Island tomorrow night at 7:30. Rangers and Maple Leafs, another one with kind of everything. Points with guys on the Flyers' heels. You also have the Canadians and the Lightning. I don't think that one's going to be much of a game. The game I'm interested in seeing tomorrow should be a really, really good one. Is Winnipeg at Carolina. I think that'll be a good one. Carolina is 36-18-6. The Jets are 37-16-5. I think that's going to be probably your game of the day right there. And then, of course, our Flyers take on the Senators tomorrow.
Absolutely. And, guys, real quick, I'm going to give you your breakdown here tonight, your game stats for you. Shots on goal, pretty even, close to even. Flyers get favored by a couple, 23-21. Face-off was pretty even, pretty close as well, but favor the Flyers 52.5% to the 47.5% for the Caps. Both scoring one goal on 3 power play attempts. Penalty minutes are even 10 minutes apiece for both teams. Hits were pretty even as well. Just one slightly favoring the Flyers at 30-29. Blocked shots favoring the Caps in this case. Usually that's a Flyer stat, but 19-12 favoring the Caps. Giveaways 13-9. 13 goes right to the Caps, and takeaways as well. They give away, but they also take it. In this case, 13-6, and the Flyers would tie the season series so far 1-1. I'm sorry, the season series would be tied 1-1.
Yep.
Rubber match comes in April, and we'll see how that all plays out. That is your game stats for the night. So real quick, guys, I want to also break. Sometimes you just need to get away, Mike. Right? We all need to get away, and sometimes, like our boy Charles here, you want to enjoy some sports while you're away, right? Well, guess what? You can go as far as Brazil and get some Philly sports. That's right, Philly Sports Trips got you covered. That Brazil game, they are releasing,
and it's on a Friday night.
Yeah, they're releasing a week-long trip, so you get a little Brazil trip on top of the Eagles game, hitting a couple different big spots in Brazil on top of the major, big-time NFL game in South America. Eagles. And we don't know the opponent yet, but we'll find out at one point. Talk about getting away.
I'm hearing that's going to be the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, all right. I would like to see that. I don't know. I mean, will a certain quarterback get too many massages to be off this game? We'll find out.
Especially being down there.
Yeah, being down there. And don't forget, London trip is still available now. If you want to get there, it's not available. Flights and hotel packages, they're sold out. But if you're going to be in London and you need a tailgate to go to, Philly Sports Trips will be across the pond for you. And don't worry, they have a ton of other baseball ones coming up. They got Boston. They got Orioles trip. They got a Pittsburgh trip. You name it, they got it. Check it out. And there's a bunch of trips coming up for the Union. So I think Nashville and Austin, Texas as well. So check it out. PhillySportsTrips.com.
I'm looking
Tell
at
them
that
EOP
Boston.
sent you.
I'm looking at that Boston trip because that's a
Yeah.
weekend
The
series.
Oriole trip is a one-day trip, and that'd be cool to get to. I think I'm going to go down on that one.
Oh, they're doing Baltimore this year.
Yeah, Orioles trip is going to be
May, I think, ain't it?
no, it's June or July. I think it's June. I'll get you the information on that. And speaking of calendars and things to keep your eye on, clear the ice lineup for the rest of the week. Of course, on Tuesday, it was Matty B and Austin. Of course, tonight, you know, the two best looking guys in Clear the Ice right here, myself and Mike. And don't forget,
the Mayfair Mafia is on tomorrow.
Mayfair Mafia will be out in full force with Matty B and Pat Bernard. Matty B and Patty B, I guess we'll call them.
Patty B.
Matty B and Patty B, just mucking it up. I'm sure it's going to be all positive, sunshine and rainbows coming out of here. We'll find which way Pat Bernard flip flops this day.
Fish out of water.
Yeah, we'll find out. But yes,
I don't know. I think Pat might get a little mad because we're cutting into his blue oyster time tomorrow.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. You know, you never know what's going to happen there. But today, guys, I remind you. So I'm gonna go back to a question that was asked of us earlier, and you know, usually on the Clear the Ice show we don't break down this too much, but trade deadline is a week away. A week away. The Flyers have trade pieces. And the answer is absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They have young, up and coming guys. They could trade away almost anything at this point. There's nobody in my eyes who is like 100% safe. Now, there's guys I think, Darren, that would be less likely. Your Owen Tippett's, guys who just signed big contracts. But I think Scott Lawton is gone. I think Walker's gone. And anybody else, I think they can. I really think they are going to.
I think it's going to go between one of the two. It's either Walker or Sealer. One of them two are going.
Yeah.
I hope it ain't Nick Sealer because to me, I like Walker, but I think he's expendable. You know what I mean?
And I think they don't believe him. It's anybody they don't believe to be the future. Anybody they don't believe is going to be contending with the Flyers in the next few years, they're gone. They can be gone. I don't think they're going to make them gone or have to be gone, but if they get an offer, they'll take it. If they can sit here and come in here and make get some draft capital or bring some young prospect in who they think could be contributing in a few years down the line, I think that's where they do it. I don't know if they'll trade. I don't know if they'll buy or sell. I would lean more towards selling.
I think so too. I think they're going to sell too. Like
if they get in the
postseason, if they get to the postseason, they get to it. There's really no rush for the Flyers to get to the postseason this year. You know, that's just what I had to tell our burnt-brain colleague over here, Mr. Bighead. You know, Patty B. You know, because he's so starved for playoff hockey that my man's like, oh, we got to go all in. And you know, I think the Flyers are doing it right this time. I really do. And, you know, again, it goes back to, you know, the guys that they have in the front office, man. They know what they're doing. Like we finally
and they're very open about it. I mean, refreshingly open about it. That they are going to make the moves. They are not worried about winning this year. They will try, but they're not making big moves. They're not selling any huge pieces to bring in a big name, to make a huge playoff push, but they're still going to make a playoff push nonetheless. But, yeah, they do have some pieces. Who they're willing to give with, I mean, really, the thing depends on the compensation.
Right. Well, Al, this is the time of the game, or the time of the show, where we pick our 3 stars of the game.
All right, I'm going to pick one Flyer, and my other 2 are going to be the Caps. I have to get one.
Yeah, same here.
I know our boss, Matty B, tells us that we have to pick Flyers.
There wasn't 3 good Flyers tonight.
I couldn't pick 3 good Flyers tonight.
So
I will pick. I'll ship my Flyer. Is going to be. I guess it's going to be Owen Tippett in this case. Owen Tippett, Bobby Brink. He also scored a goal, but he also flubbed up on defense a couple times too many. So I'm going to go with Owen Tippett remaining to be that bright, shining star moving forward. What do you got for one of yours?
I also do you have 3 or you have 1?
I can give you 3.
Yeah, give me your 3.
All right. I guess I'm going to go with Strome.
Okay.
In this case, Strome had 3 points tonight, 2 assists and a goal. I don't want to give it to Ovechkin because Ovechkin always just seems to get his, and I hate giving it to guys like that. I'll give it to Milano for just the way he played that puck over the shoulder.
You just didn't want to give it to
I'm
Ovechkin.
not giving it to Ovechkin. So I'm going to give it to Milano.
Well, guess what? You don't want to give it to Ovechkin? I will. My number 3 star of the game was Owen Tippett. I agree with you there. I think he was the best Flyer on the ice tonight.
Maybe the only one.
Yeah, number 2, I'm going to give it to the guy with the game winner, which was Carlson. Carlson got the game winner. I played very good on defense as well.
You know what? I'm going to change mine. I'm going to give. I said it before, and I changed my mind. I'm going back to Lindgren. The Flyers goalie. I mean, the Capitals goalie struggled in the first 2 periods, or struggled in the first period. Came back and played well, and because the Flyers could have tied this game up or came close to tying this game up if it wasn't some big save. So I'm not going to give it to Lindgren. Taking it back. Sorry.
Okay. So I went Tippett, Carlson, and then I gave it to Ovi because Ovi sparked them. They were dead. They were dead until he put the puck in the net, and he got them going. So that's my note. They're my 3 stars of the game.
And that will bring it to the end, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you from guys even as far as Nassau, Bahamas for joining us.
Yeah, I wouldn't be taking it from Nassau. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
But hey, thank you, though, Charles. We appreciate it.
Yeah, as long as you're not seeing us in a bathing suit, you'll be all right. But Flyers fall 5-2 to the Caps, which big letdown in the playoff implications. Like I said, could have really boosted them with them and guys that are sitting right behind them. So they need to make up some tread here.
And Washington, even though we play Washington again, they have 2 games in hand on the Flyers, and now they won tonight. So, you know, they basically just caught the Flyers, really, if you take a look at it. So, Flyers got a lot of work to do, man.
Flyers got work to do, and if they want to keep their head above water, they can't start to stumble. And like I said, guys, tomorrow night, Matty B, Patty B,
the Mayfair Mafia.
The Mayfair Mafia will be out there. Oh, I'm telling you, it's going to get nothing but positive.
Oh, yeah.
They can, listen, it'll still be negative if they're 10-0 winners. We know that. They will find something wrong with their game.
It'll be all sausages.
Or Pat will be finding, he'll be finding a Stanley Cup somewhere in that game tomorrow. But we'll find out. We'll find out.
Tune in, guys. To those guys.
It's must-watch TV here at EOP Sports. Other than that, thank you, Mike Lauro, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, you as well.
Big Al. Flyers, like I said, fall 5-2, and we out of here.
We're out of here.